News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The roaring lion fire remains untamed. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Thursday, August 4th, 2016. Sky's clear. We've got some smoky haze, of course. We'll have that for a while. Right now, it's sitting at 45 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast sponsored by Spray Green Lawn, providing lawn aeration, fertilization, and weed control. Save yourself 15%. Call 207-9273. Now at over 7,000 acres, the roaring lion fire south of Hamilton is drawing national and statewide attention. Senator Steve Daines visited the fire camp yesterday.
These fires are breaking our way, at least today. So I think we'll have a good night shift. The crew's ready. I mean, these guys are working 14 to 16 hours at night up in some really tough country, risking their lives for us. I'm just thankful. We've got a type 1 response on this fire. That's the best, most elite teams in the nation are here fighting that fire.
Governor Steve Bullock spoke with our correspondent Steve Fullerton about the many different agencies fighting the fire.
You have state and federal, local, all folks come together to say the most important thing that we do is both protect the safety of the community, the firefighters, protect the structures, and then do all we can to get this fire out.
Now, that won't be happening anytime soon, as containment, as of last night, was listed at 0% according to INCIWeb. Cause of the fire still under investigation. And in a related story, with intense growth of the roaring lion fire on Tuesday, Ravalli County Under Sheriff Steve Holden said new restrictions have been put into place for homes in the Stage 2 evacuation area closest to the fire. These new restrictions will impact even the 60 or so homeowners who signed a waiver and chose to stay in the evacuation area.
A real big concern right now is providing security to the evacuated homes. We've had to kind of draw some hard lines, and we're just not allowing anybody back into those Stage 2 evacuation areas. If they leave the evacuation area, we're not going to allow people back into it, even with the waiver at this point.
Despite the chaos of the fire, Holden says firefighters and law enforcement are working together better than he's ever seen.
It's been an outstanding team effort, working very well with the fire department, Hamilton Fire, and the Forest Service operations team. We've really been operating out of the same room, and last night as they were doing structure protection, we had deputies in the Stage 2 areas just doing a sweep of homes and knocking on doors and letting people know that the fire was really burning and it was a good time to get out.
Neither the Stage 2 nor Stage 1 evacuation areas expanded while strong winds drove the fire to over 7,000 acres Tuesday evening. Holden said they're considering issuing Stage 1 evacuation orders to about 100 more homes in the Lost Horse drainage if the fire begins to cut in a southerly direction. 2 wildfires burning in Northern California have expanded a bit, but fire crews have made some gains and increased containment there. The blaze burning near the scenic Big Sur region of California has charred almost 73 square miles as of last night. It's now 25% contained. Officials are asking for the public's help to find whoever started the campfire that sparked the wildfire, which has destroyed 57 homes. A bulldozer operator also was killed on the fire lines during a rollover accident. A grass fire in a popular recreational area in Northern California has charred more than 7 square miles since igniting Tuesday afternoon. It spread quickly and prompted the evacuation of an RV and temp campground near Lake Berryessa and the Napa Valley. No vineyards in wine country are currently threatened. That fire is about 10% contained. Fresh off the city's victory after the Montana Supreme Court decision allowing the takeover of the Mountain Water Company, plans are already underway for what the city hopes will be a smooth transition. Mayor John Engen spoke to reporters at his office yesterday and said the process has already begun. Attorney Natasha Jones was asked if an appeal from Mountain Water to the U.S. Supreme Court might be forthcoming.
Technically, the defendants have the opportunity to file a writ with the United States Supreme Court. That's a decision that they'll have to make. The statistical chances of the United States Supreme Court accepting that appeal are very low, but it is their right to potentially do that.
Engen said a loan for the purchase price of $88.6 million is ready to be delivered.
We have financing in place to not only pay that bill, but to round up operating capital. We'll be able to be in business almost immediately. Our bank was waiting for the decision from the Montana Supreme Court, and with that decision, they're ready to write a check.
Engen said the $10 million that it cost to actually litigate The lawsuit has been being folded into the utility. Engen was asked if there would be any retribution for negative comments by current Mountain Water employees once the takeover was complete.
One of my heroes in this world is Abraham Lincoln. And as I told staff and attorneys at a meeting yesterday, we are now Lincoln. This is about making it work. With malice toward none, I do not have the luxury of spleen. We need to get together and get some work done.
KGVO News reached out to John Kappas, president of Mountain Water Company, who refused to comment at this time. But we will hear from Gary Zadek, attorney for the Mountain Water employees, on tomorrow's newscast. A man who has been charged with theft and fraud for persuading investors to give him more than $24,000 to produce a cowboy documentary that he claimed would be narrated by Clint Eastwood has a deadline to schedule a mental health evaluation to determine if he's fit to stand trial. The Missoula.Report's District Judge Robert L. Dusty Deshaw Tuesday gave Matthew McClintock until August 16th to schedule an appointment, or he would grant the prosecution request that the evaluation be done at the Montana State Hospital in Warm Springs. Securities officials said McClintock told investors a University of Montana history professor would be an advisor on the film, and a portion of the proceeds would go to the Western Montana Breast Cancer Fund. The professor was not involved. The cancer fund doesn't exist. McClintock has pleaded not guilty to 6 felonies. Governor Steve Bullock's campaign has reimbursed the state another $1,100 for extra costs incurred when pilots who flew him for state business had to wait to return while he conducted campaign activities. The Billings Gazette reports the reimbursements for costs added to 9 flights in April, May, and June were included in campaign finance reports filed Monday. Bullock's campaign said in March it would reimburse the state over $2,600 for portions of 21 state business trips. It also involved campaign functions between April 2015 and March. Just after noon on Tuesday, Missoula police were called out to the post office after citizens reported seeing a man drinking while driving.
An officer responded to a report of a male riding a scooter that was seen drinking a can of beer as he rolled up to a mail outlet. He spilled his beer as he parked, but then drank the rest of it before going back inside.
A police officer and state trooper arrived on the scene and identified the man as 64-year-old Adrian Langstaff, who apparently has been pulled over for DUI more than once.
Probable cause was developed. The witness had seen him driving, had seen him consuming the alcohol. Based on that and other observable factors through the course of a DUI investigation, the male was eventually arrested. Turns out that he has 3 previous convictions, so this is his 4th or subsequent, and makes it a felony.
Langstaff was booked into the county jail about 5 p.m. but was released 2 hours later after posting a $10,000 bond. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Plenty of sunshine today with our high temperatures topping out in the mid-80s. Tonight we'll drop back into the low 50s. Sunny and hot on Friday. Daytime highs will be in the 90s. Showers and storms this weekend. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster, KECI 13.